Hey guys, Hayley from TTS with the beautiful Marisa, also from TTS. Following up from our last or previous video, talking about the industry and graduating and that transition. So a lot of graduates like myself have really been given their certificates, and now we're kind of on that journey from job seeking. So today we're going to be talking about how to move from your graduation to seeking a job or getting into the industry. So Marisa, what does a good resume or portfolio look like to you?
Now, a resume is really the unbundling of your skills, experience, and put into a very brief document. You know, you see resumes where they're 5 pages long. It should be 1-pager. Mm-hmm. If you don't have experience, don't worry about that. You know, I know that a lot of employers will say, I want at least 2 to 3 years experience, and that's fine, but don't worry about it. Don't try to make stuff up on your resume. If you don't know how to write one, there are little short courses that you can do, but there's other ways to be able to present yourself as well. So you could be creative and send in, depending on the type of job that you're going for, but you could send a video and maybe answer 3 questions. This is what I've just done. This is the degree. This is what I've learned. This is what I'm passionate about. Obviously relevant to the type of job that you're going for. I think resumes are starting to move away in certain industries from that to when I had a recruitment agency, we started doing videos for interviews, pre-interviews, asking the employer 3 questions about what they wanted to find in somebody. So being creative and thinking outside of the box a bit more as well.
Yeah, I know when going for a job now, there's probably about 20% of jobs are now asking for a video resume. So I think the future of resumes is probably moving towards that video resume. So it's really important to be confident in front of a camera, and also it shows your personality more, I believe, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that videos, you know, like digital, everyone's on social media. You are presenting yourself and being on a video and getting creative as well. If you want to do a resume still, that's fine. Do the resume and do a video as well. But think outside the box a little bit more. Stand out. How are you going to be selected from the crowd that are going to apply?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Now that we've kind of gone through the resume stage, where are the best places, do you think, for job seeking and job finding opportunities?
I think for a lot of people, the main platform, well-known platform is Seek. Mm-hmm. And for all different types of jobs, casual, part-time, whether you're looking for a career.
Yeah.
But if you're looking more into the corporate career and still part-time contract, internships, full-time work is LinkedIn. Yeah. LinkedIn is a really shining platform. I call it the boardroom of the world. So there's so many different types of businesses on there and entrepreneurs as well. And if you're not on LinkedIn, mm-hmm. I think you're missing a big part of the market in terms of recruitment.
Yeah. And once you have found an opportunity or have been given the opportunity to have an interview with someone, what do you reckon is the best kind of way to present yourself or prepare yourself for an interview?
Research. It's so important to research the company, research the person, you know, and they're going to do it to you. So if you're presenting yourself on LinkedIn, make sure your profile looks good. It's up to par. Find out how to create a profile. Go look at others as well. Go look at the people that you want a job. And remember as well, the jobs aren't always advertised. People are always looking for people. They call them scouting.
Yeah.
So they are looking for people in the industry. So if there's a company that you would love, it's your dream job that you want to work for, mm-hmm. don't wait for a job to open up, you know, and present yourself in a way that you want to be seen.
Yeah, I think moving on from that point where you just kind of discussed creating your opportunities and seeking out particular companies as well. For me, I actually got an opportunity to be interviewed by the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra purely because I just said, hey, I love what you're doing, pretty much. Here's a piece of work that I've done that kind of aligns with something that you're doing. And they kind of actually responded back to me. I wasn't expecting anything, if not simply just a bit of, hey, loved your work, maybe work on this little bit. So a bit of feedback. But I think presenting yourself and being confident enough to say, hey, really love what you're doing, and kind of aligning yourself with the company, I actually got an interview out of it. So I think being brave enough and being confident enough to present yourself or actually approach places is such an important part of kind of job seeking as well, and people often overlook it, and it's such an important thing to do.
Be yourself as well. Remember that you should represent yourself professionally on these platforms, but there are other platforms once you start networking on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is such a good tool for networking and just getting to know people. Even if you're not applying, hey, do you have any jobs available? That is not a way to approach that. And we can get into that on another discussion, but it's just say hello, go and say hi and how you going, and I really admire what you do. Talk about a project maybe that they've done, exactly what you've just spoken about. And I think that's really important. That's the way you network. Yeah. And then you're in the forefront, then you connect and you have that connection then. Yeah. And when certain things, and it's about timing, when you're ready, when they're ready, and then the conversation can start. But keep in mind as well that other platforms they're going to go have a look at. So they're going to have a look at your lifestyle and see if you actually match up with that. Because one thing about a resume, and that when I had my recruitment agency, I don't like to read resumes because they don't have to be written by that person. You can't portray personality through a resume. But you can on social media. Yeah. So if you don't think your social profiles are appropriate because you're discussing your Saturday nights through a video, maybe put those as private. Yeah. And put the stuff up that is appropriate. Yeah. For who you want to see it, because and it doesn't go away. Once it's up there, it's out there. Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially designers, have a separate page for their creative work, and it's almost like a portfolio now. People are still going on Behance, but Instagram is such an easy, quick platform to showcase your work, showcase your personality. So having maybe a separate account purely for that stuff so they can see through there is a really good opportunity. I just want to touch back on the LinkedIn and just the power of it, and the power in this day and age, especially to do with technology. Where do you see people kind of interacting with LinkedIn and the power of it, I guess? Back to the comment that I made about LinkedIn being the boardroom for the world, is the power of LinkedIn, where people are, it's not like your typical feed where you see what people are doing day to day. You're finding information out about the world. You're finding information about companies or people that are moving around, and to be able to network, there's networking events that you can go to, but this is so much faster. So the power of that, to be able to, especially what we've gone through with 2020, we've had, we spoke to New York 3 weeks ago, and we spoke to someone in Washington, and I think I'm slowly seeing more people, but I just don't think people my age, in my generation, actually know how to use LinkedIn. So what are your suggestions, or what are your recommendations for someone who's starting or wanting to get into that industry or connection making kind of deal? There's that bridge gap at the moment between finishing study, so where you are now, to going and getting a job, for the audience that they were talking about today. And I think that it's, how do I make that jump? How do I make that transition? Yeah. And there's a couple of things that are out there now, and stuff that we do as well at TTS. We talk about micro-credentials, something that is going to be coming up really soon, which is exciting. But that's already, things like that have already been done. And what they are little stepping stones to teach you how to do those little things that you haven't got yet. Yeah. Study gives you the foundation, and you've said that before as well. It gives you the foundation of learning and skills, but combine that with your personality and experience of what you got out of it. Maybe you've done work experience, you've done some micro-credentials online to give you industry experience, and that's the package. Yeah. Then being able to go and research, just join LinkedIn. Yeah. Go and have a look. That's where you start. Go have a look at some of the profiles. Yeah. Go to a company CEO's page and go, wow, have a look at the information, and then have a look at a few others who you aspire to work with. And that's how you start building your profile. Do some free courses, do some micro-credentials to be able to show, and you can add that to your resume too, because once you start seeing that resume or the online profile LinkedIn, and the people that are watching you, they're going to be so impressed that you took that initiative. Now that we've kind of talked about those steps, just open those doors, get on LinkedIn, go on Seek, just put yourself out there, cold call people. I think it's just the way to go. You've got nothing to lose. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Awesome. Good luck, everyone.